Now we bring on our next guest, Karin Askelo F, EVP Sustainability at Polarium. Hi, Karin. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here.
Great to be here.
So, could you tell us a little bit more about your role at Polarium and your responsibilities in advancing the company's sustainability goals?
Yes, of course. I joined Polarium 1.5 years ago, and then it's a new role that was established at that time, and the sustainability function was also built then. And I'm part of the leadership team, where I'm in charge of course, enhancing our sustainability strategy continuously, in line with our high ambitions and also stakeholder expectations, like Lennart was commenting on, and of course also to drive and enable the sustainability integration across the organization, across Polarium.
I know that you have a background in heading sustainability at one of the largest institutional investors in Sweden, and before that, several years at Swedish DFI. Now, how has it been to move from the investor side to corporate?
Yeah, that's true. I spent almost 15 years on the investment side, first at Swedfund, which is the Swedish Development Finance Institution, focused on impact investing in developing countries. And then I moved over to Handelsbanken Asset Management, where I was heading sustainability. And now I'm at the corporate, and not only corporate, at a scale-up, where things happen really fast. So, of course, I think for anyone in sustainability, it's a continuous learning journey, because as standards develop and as topics increase in their relevance, etc. And of course, shifting from the finance investment industry to a battery energy solutions company has been challenging. Have to learn a lot about batteries and energy system, etc. But very fun. I enjoy learning new things. And then, of course, I think it's been a really good thing to change perspectives. On the investor side, I was engaging with a lot of listed companies and asking them to set science-based targets. And now we, at Polarium, committed to set science-based targets in June, and we're doing the work. So I get first-hand experience of doing the work. So it's been a good change. It's good to change perspectives.
Yeah, fantastic to have both,
yes.
Right? And so when you're not on stage talking about sustainability, what do you usually do to wind down and gather your thoughts?
I would say that being outside, sports, playing golf, and I have 2 kids, so 10 and 12 years old, so that keeps me busy. Not so much time over for anything, but yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Well, we will now move over to our fireside chat, if you'll follow me.
Thank you. I bring
Here we go. Welcome back. So can you provide us an overview of Polarium and your mission to unlock endless energy?
Yes, that's us. We were founded in 2015 on the conviction that safe and sustainable energy storage will be a key enabler for the energy transformation, the transformation to a renewable energy system. So we develop energy storage solutions, batteries, and we're headquartered in Stockholm, where we have our R&D center, and we have factories in Mexico, Vietnam, and South Africa, localized geographically to serve actually our customers that are found globally in over 70 countries. So that is really what we do.
Fantastic. And it's fascinating to hear that one of Polarium's largest sales segments has been telecom, particularly in Africa. Could you tell us more about the importance of energy storage solutions in this context and the specific challenges it addresses?
Yes, that's correct. Actually, historically, looking at how our business developed, our focus has been on the telecom segment and providing backup power, reserve power in the sector at the tower sites. Of course, this is in Africa in particular, where we've had one of our largest customers, ATC, which is part of a American listed group, ATC. Of course, the challenges are even greater than, for example, if you look at the telecom segment in Europe, where the energy supply looks different. So ATC operates in a number of African countries, and that's also, and of course, when we talk about Africa, we have to be clear on that it looks very different. The energy challenge, depending on, it looks very different between countries. The energy source, the grid stability, access to energy, occurrence of power cuts and load shedding, etc. But ATC Africa has had a strategy to move away from lead acid batteries towards lithium ion batteries paired with solar. And this has been driven not only from a financial perspective, but to reduce energy costs, but also to align operations with their climate targets, science-based targets. So they have been actually, with this shift from lead acid to lithium ion paired with solar, they are able to reduce the energy consumption at a tower site with approximately 95%. And of course, as they reduce also the use of the diesel generators at the sites, very important factor in the climate impact of this strategy. And they've also reported 43.5 million liter reduction in diesel on an annual basis since they started this program. So that's the kind of impact that energy storage can enable. But also, of course, looking at other markets, we have our factory that we set up in 2021 in South Africa, in Cape Town, actually to serve ATC and have the production close to our customer. And in South Africa, the energy challenge is very hampering the economy and societal development, with load shedding actually scheduled 6 times per day. So there is always also a huge impact for us to enable the transition to renewable energy in that country, for example, also within the commercial and industrial segment and with energy optimization solutions, etc.
Now, this is great that we're talking about this, because the sustainable energy definitely implies different challenges in different geographies, as you were talking about. It would be really interesting for you to hear you elaborate a little bit more on how energy storage brings value and is a solution for those different challenges.
Yes, and we touched upon it a little bit. I mean, it looks very different, the challenge in Africa and as compared to Europe. But what we can see, and which also the International Energy Agency points out, is that energy storage would really be pivotal for the transition. We need to be able to store energy when it's produced, and so we can use it when we actually need it. So it's a key. And there are several things that energy storage can enable. For example, when we need to store energy when it's produced, when there's excess supply, for example, of solar energy, and store it to be able to use it at a time when we need to use it. There is also, with energy storage, there is also possibility for load leveling and peak shaving, and at peak hours, so that actually we don't have to use peak energy production, which is often less efficient and also more polluting. And then, of course, at night, maybe when at least solar energy is at lower production levels, we can store the energy, and then we can dispatch it at hours when it's actually needed. And then, of course, with the war in the Ukraine and the geopolitical development, there has been also a huge push for energy independence. And this is, of course, also something that energy storage can enable. So depending a little bit on where our customers are, the value in terms of sustainability looks a little bit different. But there are a lot of advantages with energy storage.
Let's move towards a conversation about culture and strategy and corporate identity. So can you elaborate a little bit about how Polarium's commitment to sustainability is integrated in the company's culture and how it influences your overall corporate identity?
Sustainability has been there from when Stefan, our CEO, founded the company. So it's really deeply embedded in our mission and in our culture. And what I've learned since, and also if I look at myself, a lot of my colleagues and myself joined Polarium because of our mission and wanting to be part of this and contribute, really. So I feel that it's an important part. It engages people, it motivates people, and people really want to contribute to the agenda. And we also see that as we recruit talent, that it's a really important factor. And I think a lot of research confirms that as well. And going forward, it's also, of course, important that we deliver on our promises. My colleagues also have high expectations that we actually fulfill our ambitions and that we work in a responsible manner. Of course, it's teamwork, but it's to some extent driven, of course, out of sustainability and the strategy that we set. So it will definitely be important as we move forward also.
So how does sustainability play a role in shaping Polarium's long-term business strategy and decision-making process, particularly the terms of achieving your mission to unlock that unlimited energy?
To be really practical, we have a one-pager at Polarium that describes entails the whole corporate strategy, very condensed, but one-pager. And there actually sustainability sits in the core of that one-pager. And then in the next step, we have a one-pager for the sustainability strategy, where it's broken down in 4 areas. And two of them are of strategic business importance, also looking at what our really customers are looking for in terms of solutions. And it's climate action and circularity. And then as the foundation and as our license to operate, you find, of course, our people, working with our people to continue to be innovative, be attractive workplace, etc. But not the least responsible business conduct with ethics and anti-bribery and corruption and human rights and etc. So, and then in this, here we also break down those topics into activities and targets and KPIs. And some still not complete yet because we're early in our journey, so there are still KPIs and targets to be defined. So quite a clear direction set out, though where it's constantly under development. But then we also put quite some efforts in building the governance structure. I report on a frequent basis to the board of directors and the audit and sustainability and risk committee, and then we established a sustainability council also a year ago. And of course have seen to it that we've gotten important governing documents in place. And now we're really, on a daily basis working to integrate sustainability in all processes and decision making. And that takes a little bit of time.
Yes, yeah, of course. And what are some of the more specific initiatives and practices that reflect the commitment that you set apart in this industry?
I would say that we are fairly early with the science-based targets and also our focus on circularity. And then our logistics teams have been very engaged with looking at the carbon footprint in our logistics chain, and also our site managers have been pushing very quickly the transition to renewable energy at our sites.
So as an enabler in the transition, because what we want to talk about is why companies enabling the transition must have sustainability in their DNA. And as an enabler in this transition, what specific benefits do you see for Polarium by having sustainability deeply embedded in the company's DNA, especially in the context of a very fast-growing energy landscape?
Well, we are an enabler for the transformation, but we have to see to it that our products are sustainable. So it's about minimizing negative impact and maximizing the positive impact if we really want to be net positive in the end and true impact company. And it's about building trust and, of course, create impact, but it's also about responding to customer expectations, stakeholder expectations, etc. So it's about future-proofing our business. So a lot of benefits, I would say.
And I mean, how do you address these challenges, and what are the real top priorities moving forward?
I would say the top priorities is our focus on minerals and also supply chain and circularity, where of course there are a lot of challenges. We're moving away from a fossil dependency to minerals dependency, and we have to work through partnership also and lean towards larger corporates that are also pushing the agenda. And when it comes to circularity in that part, we have to continue to be innovative and pilot things to really make progress.
Fantastic. I'm so sorry. We're just running out of time. It was so great to talk with you today. Thank you so much for joining us, Karin. It's been great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.